All right, what's going on, my pool owning friends? In this video, I'm going to talk to you about shock, or at least all that I know about shock. I'm not a professional pool man, but for the last 3 years that I've owned this pool, my pool has never been green and it's always this clear. I like to keep everything that I do to my pool nice and simple, with the least amount of chemicals that I have to use, and keep my pool nice and clear like this. The reason you're going to want to use pool shock is to break up the contaminants. Over time, your pool is going to start building up contaminants. And also, if you start smelling a real strong smell of chlorine, or that's not a good thing if you start smelling chlorine real strong, that means your chlorine's not working correctly, and you're going to definitely need to be shocking your pool. But the contaminants are going to come from, like if you get a real hard heavy rain, you could start getting a buildup of contaminants in your pool. If you get a lot of people swimming in your pool, that'll get you a buildup of contaminants, because you might get, like if they have sunblock on, it's going to start getting in the pool, or just the oil off their skin will start building up in your pool. Along with, if you have a whole bunch of hot days, that's going to speed up all that. So recently I've had a lot of people swimming in my pool. I've had a lot of rain and a lot of hot days, so I'm going to add some shock to my pool today. I try to do this, like I said, at least once a month, maybe every 2 weeks, depending on how many of those examples I just talked about I have going on. And I also think these pool socks, they come in this little bag. I ordered them off Amazon. I'll show you here. I think these really help a lot to not have to shock my pool as much. Mine needs cleaned out right now. I'll show you what it looks like when I need cleaned out. But they go over your filter basket. And it's just like looks kind of like a small little pantyhose or something. And it filters everything out that comes through my skimmer basket. And I will take this, and I don't want to do it here, but I would turn this upside down and I'll just spray my hose against it and rinse it off every day. Let me dump some of this out. I'll clean that out when I'm done. The only thing that kind of sucks with using them pool socks is you have to clean them out every day, definitely every 2 days. But I just like to come out once a day, pull it out, spray it off with my hose, put it back in. And then maybe I change them out because I'll keep reusing. I might change it out once a week, or maybe a week and a half I'll change it out. I think it came, well, I got 20 back. So also, if you're going to shock your pool, a good time to shock your pool is in the evenings, right before the sun, right as the sun's starting to go down, because the rays from the sun will start to attack this shock. So if you do this when the sun's going down, you don't have to worry about the sun destroying the shock that you just put in your pool. And don't forget, if you have your pump shutting off at night, if you go to put pool shock in, you might want to make it so your pump runs all night, at least on low. Or you could just turn your pump on high for a few hours and then let it shut off if you want to. But I like to just put my pump on low and let it run all night. That way the water gets real good mixed up and that shock is all through your entire pool. I also recommend, after you put that pool shock in, just to try to stay out of your pool for about 8 hours, just to be safe, because it's going to really jump your chlorine levels up high, and then they're going to come back down. So that's another good reason to do this in the evening after everybody's done swimming. All right, this is what I use normally when I shock my pool. I have my shock. I have a bucket that I'll fill up maybe right around halfway. You might want some eye protection, and you may want to have some old clothes on, because if you get this stuff on your clothes, it's just going to work just like bleach. It's going to make little white dots all over everything, and you definitely don't want to get it in your eyes. And a pair of scissors, something to open the bag, and maybe a stir stick, just to stir it up a little bit. I like to put it in a bucket because I like to try to dissolve it a little bit before I put it in my pool. Some people say not to do that. They say just to open the bag up and sprinkle it around your pool. If you want to do it that way, you can do it that way also. But then you got to watch, if a bunch of it lands on the bottom of your pool, you may want to get your brush, like the brush. If you have a brush like this, you may want to get this and then move it around if it's laying in the bottom of your pool. I'll just do that. Get my drill spinning and dump it in the water here, and I stir it up in my bucket a little bit. And sometimes it doesn't get it all dissolved, so at the end I'll have to try to put a little bit more water in there, and I'll take a stick usually at the end and stir it up and dump it in. You're gonna have to read on the bags you get. I'll put these bags down in the description. Along, if you want to check out these pool socks, I'll put these down in the description also. But one bag of this one bag here, like this came with 6 packs in it, but one bag is good for around 13,500 gallons. And my pool is a little less than that, so I use just one bag of that. So if you have a bigger pool, you need to know how many gallons of water you have. Or if you have a smaller pool, maybe you're going to need smaller packs. But the ones I'm going to put down below are for around 13,000 gallons. This is a 24-foot above ground pool. All right, let me dump my packet in, mix it up, and I'll dump it in my pool. And I got one more tip at the end of this video. Also, I recommend you should probably watch what kind of clothes you wear or hat you wear, because you don't want to get this on your clothes or you're going to have dots all over it. So put the water in first, then dump your shock in. Try not to breathe that. Now, if you don't have a drill and a paper like this, just get a stick and stir it up slowly with a stick. All right, let me dump this in the pool. All right, the last thing you're going to want to do is take your test strips and test your pool. You're going to want your pool to be around between 1 and 3 parts per million. I'll try to show you this. So we'll test mine and see if mine's right. All right, that's about it. I hope I taught you something about shocking your pool. Please give this video a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below. If you want to help support my channel, hit that subscribe button or check out one of my t-shirts I got down below. I'll put a discount code down below for these t-shirts. God bless and happy swimming.